Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's day 3 of learning Python with me. And now we are aware about variables, we know what are variables, and today I'll teach you about data types in Python. So we know that variables are like containers that we use to hold our values, like we basically store our value inside variable. Okay, but do you think this data we are storing inside this box variable is same? Do you think all the data is same? The answer is no. This data can be some random word, or can be some random number, can be some decimal numbers, or can be true or false. Because Python is very smart, it can check what type of data you are putting inside this box variable. Okay, now I'll explain one by one. First data type is integers, and integers are basically whole numbers. For example, 10, 25, and we write integers as int in Python. Okay, now let's move on to our screen. I'll explain what are integers clearly. Guys, as you can see, age is a variable here and 21 is a data. Okay, and if I'll simply print age, I'll get 21. Okay, here is a 21. And if I need to find out what type of data is this 21, I'll simply print here, I'll simply print type age. Okay, and see, it's very interesting. Here I'll get int. So as you can see, 21 is an integer, and we can find out what type of data type is 21. Now let's move on to our next topic. Now we have float. Float are basically decimal number. So if a number has point, for example money, height, temperature, Python calls it a float. Okay, and now let's move on to our screen again, and I'll explain what are float. So float are basically decimal number. Any number that has point in Python is float. For example, money and temperature. So here price is a variable, and now I'll simply write the data, that is 99.9, and if I'll simply enter print price, and I'll get 99.9 here. And if I need to find out what type of data is 99.9, I'll simply type print type price, and I'll simply run it, and I'll get float here. As you can see, here is float, and I know this is very interesting again. Okay, let's move on to our third topic, that is string. We have string is our third data type, and if I put words in a box, Python says wait, put every word inside quotes. Those quotation marks we have studied in our first video. So now let's move on to our screen. I'll explain about string. We have string. String is any word or sentence that is inside quotation mark. Let's write something here. Suppose I have name is equal to inside quotation marks. Always remember, name is arity. Now if I'll simply print name, print name, and if I'll simply run, I'll get name here, and it says string.py. Okay, and now let's move on to our third topic, that is boolean. Our fourth data type is Boolean, that is bool, true or false. Sometimes the answer is very small, like yes or no, true or false. Okay, now let's move on to a screen. We'll understand what are Boolean. Now I'll like write a small code to explain Boolean or bool to you guys. So I'll simply write is Python easy. Okay, and I'll simply say true. The T should be capital always. Okay, and now I'll simply print is Python easy, and now I'll simply run my code here, and wow, we'll get true. And as you can see here, it's written that it's a bool. So guys, I hope everything is clear to all of you, and if you have any question or if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section, and let's summarize whatever we have studied so far. So now we know what are variables, and we know what are data types. We have integer, we have float, we have string, we have boolean, that is also known as bool. But there is one bonus point here. Now we have this type function, and using this function we can find out what type of data is inside variable. Okay, and now we'll meet in our next video with some other topic, and till then, bye bye, take care.